What's up, everybody? It's your girl Kiwan, and I am back with part one. What is it? Part 1B of Divorce Sisters. Okay, season 1, episode 9, Lies in Disguise. Before I start, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell button so you can be updated on every video I drop. Make sure y'all like the videos so your girl can stay in the algorithm. Okay. So yeah, y'all remember what we were trying to find out. Bridget had kicked Vaughn out. Tiffany just had all of these major questions because I feel like she knew something. Like, Tiffany is a smart woman. She knew, she realized that her bestie was acting funny with her, and it started acting funny when Javon came along. Speaking of Javon, him and Geneva had a thing 6 years ago, and now we're at the hospital where is it Dr. Drake? I forgot the doctor's name, but the doctor is asking Geneva. This is where we left off, where the doctor asked Geneva to come to the back because she needs to get blood work done, and Geneva was like, I'm not following you. And that's when the doctor disclosed, like, hey, Anika is type O, I want to say, and William was AB. And since William specializes in a lot of things, he's a professor, really smart. Baby, that can't be my kid. So he was like, we are not a match. So y'all, all right. So we pick up episode 9. All right, picking back up at the hospital with the doctor telling Geneva and William that Anika needs a blood transfusion. But then the bomb dropped that William isn't a match. And I was like, my God, on today. But that came from William. Like, oh no, that came from the doctor that William wasn't a match. So now William automatically knows that Anika is not my baby. So I need to know what is going on in the sheets. In between the sheets in my home. Okay? So Geneva finally goes into the back with the doctor. Tiffany is standing behind William. Tiffany asks what's going on, and I'm like, Tiffany, y'all are this close to William, and you mean to tell me y'all ain't hear what y'all ain't hear what that doctor was saying? Tyler Perry. I guess y'all know Tyler Perry gonna do what Tyler Perry gonna do. Okay? Tyler Devontae Perry gonna do what the hell he gonna do. Okay? So I was like, ma'am, you didn't hear that whole conversation? Okay, because this was I was expecting before, when everything ended, I was expecting Javon to be like Mr. Kent on Medea Goes to Jail to play. Okay? Just step out and be like, yeah, that's my baby. or even be like Jangalang and be like, Ada Pappy, something. But they act like they couldn't hear it. So I digress. Anyway, William is frantic at this point. And, he tells Tiffany and Javon, we got this. Everything is good. And Tiffany was like, I'm going to stay. And William was like, no, this ain't it. So he tells Javon take Tiffany on her date. And take Tiffany on her date, and I will call y'all when everything is needed. So Tiffany complied. She was like, okay, I'm gonna keep my phone on because I'm expecting you guys to call me. When I tell you that Geneva had my boy William shake it and stirred, let me say this, because Ron Rico always get these conniving little roles. I was wrong. I do think that William knew something. I still think he knows something. I think that he was just going along to get along, and I think there was a part of him that maybe felt like maybe, well, no, because even listening to him, I don't think he knew, he would have thought that Anika wasn't his. But he loved that baby. Like, he loved Anika. And so Geneva, we get to the next scene where Geneva is in with she's in the room having her blood drawn by her doctor. The doctor who did come out and talk to him, who helped with Anika, she was the one that gave them the IVF treatments. So she's in there crying, and I'm like, girl, be for real. All right. So she asked the doctor if it was possible if those IVF treatments didn't work. And so she was like, it's not scientifically, well, she was like, because I want the baby to be Williams. And so the doctor was like, is it doctor? I forgot the doctor's name. Lord Jesus. So the doctor was like, that is not scientifically possible. So what you need to do is go out, talk to your husband and tell him the truth. And I'm like, girl. So she wants the doctor to tell William that there was a mix up with his sperm, from the IVF in his sperm. I was like, girl, you really think William is one of them niggas with a GED who ain't that smart? You think you married you a remedial nigga, but you did not. Okay? I'm sorry, y'all. It's always my hair, so I'm sorry. So in the next scene, Grayson is Franklin and Naomi's son. And then y'all know this is the first time we've been introduced. We're now introduced to Franklin. He comes to visit, I'm sorry, not Franklin, Grayson. In the next scene, Grayson comes to visit Franklin and Lindsay in the hospital. Jesus. In the hospital. Hold on, y'all. So, y'all, in the next scene, Grayson comes to visit Franklin and his soul burnt back, raggedy, clear ass wife who been laying on her stomach since episode 4. Okay? Because y'all know I didn't like how they came up in here. Okay? I don't like how they came up in the church function. Anyway, we ain't forget that. Okay? And Grayson also has a apple pie-ish clear girlfriend. Okay? The apple don't fall too far from the tree. So Franklin tells Gracie, do you see what your mother did? And I'm just like, the gaslighting. Sir, you're telling half truths. Why did she do that? What made her do that? If you're going to start here, sir, I need you to start from the beginning. So anyway, Grayson tells Franklin that he know that he saw the video online. And so y'all know Franklin didn't know anything about the video. So he was like, what video? Grayson was like, there's a video online of mom throwing the coffee on you. But Grayson doesn't want to get in the middle. But it is clear that Franklin has manipulated Grayson in a way that all he sees is Naomi's outwardly crazy. That's all he sees. And so because Franklin has a way of not controlling his emotions, because clearly he's manipulative. His emotions aren't controlled. He just knows how to look the part and look like he's done nothing wrong. Anyway, he tells Grayson what he also tells Grayson what Naomi did when she came into the hospital and she hit Lindsay in the back with the roses. We also find out that Lindsay has sepsis. And Grayson tells Franklin, his mom has been leaving. He didn't want to tell Franklin what the messages his mom has left. But then Francis raggedy ass, which is the girlfriend, okay, was like, oh, you need to tell because they were very disturbing. Bitch, mind your business. You just got here. Okay? When I tell you it's a whole no for me, I'm not saying Naomi was right. I'm not saying Naomi was right. She should not have thrown coffee. But again, you cannot push people's buttons because you know which buttons to push, and you know Naomi can be easily pushed. So you do things to push her buttons to make her look crazy, to make yourself look innocent while making her look crazy. So you can say, so you can do exactly what you're doing now by saying, hey, I told you it ain't me, it's your mother. You didn't tell her that you sold the painting. That's it. He doesn't even know, Grayson doesn't even know the whole scope of their marriage. Like, it just, yeah. So anyway, Grayson tells Franklin that his mom had been leaving those drunk messages that were very disturbing. And of course, Franklin wants to send those to his lawyer. And I just feel like, Grayson, you tell your dad everything. So not only is he going to get not text messages, these voice messages from his mom, but he's also sending Franklin that video that's been surfacing online. And I'm just like, wow. So anyway, this is what Francis told him. Oh, tell him because they were quite disturbing. And I'm like, girl, you just got here. But the message was, she told Grayson that he will be getting Franklin's money and business when he's gone. And so, of course, Franklin wants those messages because he wants to stick it to Naomi come hook or crook. Like, it doesn't even matter at this point. He just wants to stick it to her. And everybody's seeing Naomi's outwardly crazy. And as we've seen in episodes in part 1A, how she's been trying to explain to everybody, even though she's been over the top. And I feel like she needs to really work on herself. Like, I feel like the best revenge is getting the help that you need and leaving him to his own vices. Like, you want to gut punch somebody? That'll really gut punch somebody. Move the fuck on. And I wish Naomi can get there, but she's a scorned woman. Why? Because he cheated and he begged. She was wasn't gonna take him back, but he begged her to take her back, and gave her an STI. Not only did he give her an STI after doing all of that, he cheated on her with this woman. All of this was happening with the woman. He left her for that same woman and married that woman. Now he's taking his things, the things that they've had in their home, and giving it to the new woman. So yeah, it's a lot to set somebody off. And then even with the Facebook post, how he's making these comparisons. All of this is in episodes 1 through 8. Like, it's there. She talks about how he made when her stylist was at her house doing her hair so she can go to the banquet, how he makes these references, how happy he is in this new relationship with his new wife, and he makes a comparison between the new wife and the old wife. That is, he knows she's watching. He knows all of these things. So he's going to do anything. He's going to do everything necessary to he gonna do everything he have to do to make Naomi look bad. And I think he's also pissed off because he had to pay her $37 million, and I don't think he wanted to, and I think he wants his money back. He wants her broke. He wants her struggling. He wants nothing. Like, he wants her with nothing. Anyway, that's control. It also gives that Franklin is controlling. And there was another thing, even at the banquet, there was this moment where he was up on that stage, embarrassing Naomi, planting Naomi's face, sold the painting, her brother's painting, like degrading Naomi. And the whole time his wife was sitting there, there was this uncomfortable look on her face, but she had to go along to get along. So anyway, there's also, we can talk about the manipulation that Franklin is the way Franklin manipulates Grayson is crazy to me. That parental manipulation that both Franklin and Naomi did with Grayson, or putting a guilt trip on him, wanting him to side. If he wanted to go see his mother, you're mad, and you're like, why do you want to go there? Look what she did. You're trying to make him take your side. And we'll get to Naomi too. But we're just kind of speaking on how Franklin is very manipulative and very cunning. And he's experienced. He do this. This is who he is. So, he shared all of these things with Grayson, but he never shared the things that he did to provoke Naomi. So anyway, Grayson wants to talk with his mom, and once again, Francis was like, I'm a psych major. Maybe I can talk with her. Girl, the way Naomi would eat you up and spit you out, ma'am, I need you to sit this one out. Because first of all, from what it looked like, you don't know her. You just now meeting her. And you want to go use the little book knowledge that you're just now getting to have a conversation with her? Girl, bye. Girl. Like the way I wanted to yank Miss Francis, oh yeah, it was unmatched. So Vaughn breaks into Bridget's house. And he's still trying to make himself the victim. And I'm looking at him like, sir, you should have just not shot in the air. You should have shot in other places. Because we about sick of you. Okay? Vaughn is a big ass man child who want a woman to mother him, but then get mad when you find a motherly figure. Go work on your issues. Go get yourself together. Get yourself a job, because you don't want to work. You don't want to do a 9 to 5. You want to get it quick, fast. That's what Vaughn wants. You want to be a quick influencer. You want to make this quick money, because you don't even know what hard work is like, and you're 30. And that's the sad part. Like Bridget, I get so annoyed with Bridget because she has no backbone. And the way she was talking to Vaughn, it was like, oh, leave. Just leave. Girl, Bridget. Oh, she annoys me to no end. Like, Bridget is very nice, but she annoyed me to no end. And I'm going to tell you why she also annoyed me to no end. But we'll get there. So then we get back to William and Geneva. Geneva sits down with William. You sat there and you lied in his man face, and you told him that there was a mix-up with his sperm with the IVF process. And she said, I think we have to sue the hospital. Are you not thinking, like, the way you had to do all of this instead of just keeping it a buck and being like, you know what? Anika is not yours. I had an affair. I had one night, or whatever you had with said person, with Javon. You could have just explained that. Like, William was like, you know what? We can take a DNA test. And she's just sitting there lying. And then she have an attitude and try to flip it around on William, because you're moving grimy. You've been grimy. Even you being pregnant with that baby, which I think you knew that IVF didn't take. It's something about it. But I'm gonna give Geneva some grace. And so she tells William, so are you cheating because Anika saw you, I saw you hugging the lady? And he was like, no, I wouldn't do that to you. But we really need to explain who the pretty lady was. And who was so damn fine. Okay, we didn't forget that either. So anyway, William just like, you know what? He got up. She was like, so we're not going to finish this conversation? Fuck no, because you sitting here, you sound real crazy. I'm finna go in the back and go check on my daughter. That's what I'm finna do. You gonna sit here like you got some sense. He didn't say all of that, but that's how I was feeling in the moment. When I tell y'all Geneva pissed me off, and I'm telling y'all Kadeem is really working his role. Shout out to Kadeem, okay? So Jefferson gets a call from Kelly. She lets him know what Laz is doing, what Laz did to Rashida, how he had to yoke Rashida up, and he, looked like he was about to hit his mama. So he was like, all right, I'm on my way home. So y'all know Jefferson has now been tapped in with his wife. So now he's trying to make things right on the home front. So then we get back to Tiffany and Javon. They're out at dinner. Tiffany is worried about Geneva and Anika and William. And her and Javon are now getting to know each other over dinner while they're having drinks. Tiffany asks Javon if he's hiding something, and his snake ass lie and say no. This is the problem I have. Because Tiffany, you sense something. You know something. You feel something, but you're going to go against that. Your gut is telling you something, but you're going to go against that. And I feel like what you do with Javon next is to spite Geneva on the way she's treated you. I'm just saying. And there's a part of me, that's how I feel. A part of me feels like that. I like Tiffany, but I also feel like you're not a dummy. By no stretch of the imagination are you a dummy. So you feel something. You know he's lying about something, and you know Geneva ain't telling you something. So anyway, we get to Rashida. She's in the kitchen. Laz comes downstairs. She's, asking him questions. And he just like talking mad to his mama. And I was like, ma'am, if you don't smack the piss out of Laz. Like, Laz is high AF. And Rashida walks off. Kelly comes into the kitchen. Them two get into it. Rashida comes back and it walks back in the kitchen. And Laz tells Rashida that Kelly has been sleeping with two boys. I was like, my God, on today. Okay. So after Jefferson get the call from Kelly, he tracked Laz's phone. So I guess Laz couldn't get the money from his mom, so he traded in his phone to get a fix. Whatever it was, he traded in his phone to get the damn fix. And Jefferson goes to the trap to look for Laz. He gets out the car. He was like, where Laz at? Where's my son? And so, of course, it's for them trying to punk him. And I was like, I don't know, Pastor Jeff, this don't look good. So this is when we find out Pastor Jeff's background. Okay? So they call themselves trying to punk him. So the main one who really need to go check his thugness or whatever, because yeah, you ain't even that hard. You ain't hard. Okay? You ain't hard like y'all thought y'all was hard. Okay? So he tried to be the head thug in charge, but he ended up getting hemmed up by Pastor. And meanwhile, Pastor had 3 guns in his face, 3 guns pointed at him. He got the head thug in charge with his arm, like literally got him hemmed up with his gun, with the dude gun in his hand. And so he was like, I'm gonna get in my car that I worked hard for, that I paid for, and I'm gonna go home. And not nan person pulled the trigger. Let's start there. So y'all really need to check, because y'all ain't as bad as y'all think. What we found out, Pastor Jeff was Marine trained. Did he say Marine? I think he was Marine trained or something. Or, yeah, I know he was military trained. I think he said he was a Marine. And so that's how he know. And so he had to be like, listen, I don't fuck with nobody. And I don't want nobody fucking with me. He didn't say that, but he said that because he did drop them F-bombs. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Pastor Jeff put his on the table. Do you understand? Shout out to Devon Franklin, okay? So, meanwhile, back at the restaurant, Javon and Tiffany, they lit at this point. They talk about children. They both have one kid that is in college. So Tiffany's son is in college, and I forgot what he's in college for, but the Devon's son is in design school. He's the same age, around the same age as Tiffany's son. We find out that both Tiffany and Javon are the same age. They both are 45. I even felt like even at the dinner table, Javon was being phony. Like he was just being disingenuous. The laughing, the over laughing, like he was just overdoing it. Just to make Tiffany believe I like you. And because she ain't have none in a month of Sundays, child, she probably all in love. Like Tiffany give me thirsty. She give me a bit of a pick me. Just like Geneva. A bit of a pick me. So, he also tells, okay, so Javon tells Tiffany, I have a daughter, but she lives with her mother. So y'all know he was talking about Anika in Anika in Geneva. I say, girl, I need you to land. So back at the hospital, William speak with Dr. Dresden. That's her name, Dr. Dresden. He asked about the paternity of it. He was like, so if I'm going in a room, am I going in a room with my kid? And he was like, because the IVF treatments, there was an issue with the IVF treatments, and that we're gonna be suing y'all. That's what my wife told me, basically. Geneva hurry up came out and told William, oh, I don't think she can talk about that. And the way Dr. Dresden looked at him, and he immediately picked up on that. And in that moment, he knew Dr. Dresden was not lying to him. That over there was lying. Okay? So at this point, William is pissed off at Geneva, and he's questioning her in the room while Anika's in there sleeping. And she wants to, can we focus on our child? Can we focus? Girl, focus on these nuts. Like, I was so frustrated with Geneva. Like, girl, what are we doing? So anyway, I just feel like, Geneva, you are wrong. You wrong. You've been wrong. And I cannot wait to, like, this is blowing up in her face. But this is what I thought. I think if she would have just came right on out and told William the full truth, I think William would have been mad. But I think he would have processed it. I think he would have been like, okay, let's deal with it. Now this is pissing William off even more, because he knows that she's lying. And so while they were in that room, he told her, he was like, I looked at Dr. Dresden. She didn't say anything to me, but the fact remains that you're lying. You're lying to me. And you gonna tell me who you slept with, because I'm gonna find out. I was like, well, so I'm gonna tell y'all what I wrote in this. Tiffany and William pull up to Tiffany's house, and so they're drunk. William trying to come in and get a nightcap. He's trying to make it look real subtle. But Tiffany was like, no, I don't trust my body. I don't trust. And it's just like, girl, you trying to play this whole good girl role. Meanwhile, we know you want that. And you've been wanting it since the moment you laid eyes on him and you met him, when you were introduced to him. So let's not do that. Let's just skip all those pleasantries. And so she did. She went against her better. Well, I'm gonna say I think she went against her better judgment, but she used her better judgment, and she let Javon eat and knock the Mario coins right up out of her. I said, what child? We don't even have to talk about nothing else, because the conversation they was having in that car was pointless as. Because as soon as she hung that coat up, she was like, you want something to drink? Drink. Baby. Yep. So then we get to Naomi. Naomi is at her house watching Franklin's wedding video. How did you get that? Okay, you a little crazy. Okay? And we know Naomi is crazy. She told Grayson, you know me. Yeah, yeah. Anybody who say you know me, they crazy as okay. So Grayson walks in the door and she's surprised because Grayson is supposed to be at school. And she also finds out that Franklin called Grayson. He was like, well, my dad called me to go to the hospital. And he tell her, he will have you arrested. Naomi was like, I've already been arrested. And she was like, what did he say? Naomi wants Grayson to be on her side. But she was like, you're talking to me about me, but you need to talk to your dad about how he's showing up. Because again, all Grayson is seeing is Naomi's crazy. His dad is being poised and looks as if he's in control. And he sees that as his dad not doing anything wrong. And so I would say this. Everybody may not like Naomi and how she's showing up. But Franklin has been lying to Grayson. And he has a way of having Naomi looking crazy because Naomi need to pull her shit together and she need to get in control of her emotions. She not doing that. And that's her biggest downfall. And that's what's causing her to go to jail. That's all of it. Like, I feel like in order, and I think Tiffany said this in the car, in part 1A, in order for Naomi to get it together, she may have to lose everything she got. So, I don't know. Anyway, at this point, Naomi is trying to, I felt like Naomi was trying to guilt trip Grayson because she was like, you don't love me. Because, and it's always, and that's another thing. All that you don't love me because you didn't do that. She did the same thing to Rashida. You went to go see her before you came to see me. That neediness needs to be studied. Okay? Like, her therapist ain't working. Okay? She needs a psychotherapist. She needs something. So, anyway, Grayson, I feel like Grayson is going through these mental gymnastics with his parents, and that is crazy. That is all of that parental manipulation. Okay, so listen, I have a segment called Healing Out Loud, just a little 1-2 little commercial break. And sorry, me and my cousin, we once a month on my channel. Last month, was it April? Yes, March. We didn't do, there is no Healing Out Loud segment this month, but we will be back next month. However, last month we talked about parental manipulation. Y'all go around there, check it out. It's under my live and my playlist, under my Healing Out Loud playlist. Okay? Anyway, back to this review because it is getting a little lengthy. Anyway, Frances once again overstepped her damn boundaries. Because first of all, why in the entire, you walking in this lady house, this black lady house, okay? I don't care if you were sitting out in the car and you were sweating your ass off. Grayson, you were supposed to go get your girlfriend and walk her in the house, but you needed to check your mama temperature. But see that Frances, I don't trust that little girl as far as I can throw her. So she overstepped and walked in Naomi's house. She was like, hi, I'm Frances. Naomi said, who the fuck are you, girl? I'm sorry. I feel like I'm a little toxic. And I used to be. So anyway, she's pissed off. Because she was like, so you couldn't find no nice black girl? You had to come in here with this white biatch. Okay, that's what she said. That's what she said. So Grayson, she tells Grayson, what you don't know is I built the company. When your father didn't have any money, I helped him build this company. It was me. Grayson's not trying to hear that because, again, he hears more of Franklin's side. And that's what pisses me off. I do not like because there are kids that see their parents as they have these rose-colored lens, and you'll get all of this version of me, the good, the bad, the ugly, because you're here with me 100% of the time. Okay? So whatever negative 0.001% of the time you go spend with these your raggedy ass other parent that don't do shit and that ain't shit. Okay, I feel like I'm projecting. I am very much projecting right now. But they give you all of this information on said parent that has been doing everything. Okay? That is manipulation. Can y'all please stop doing that? Stop turning y'all kids against your parents. But your kids know better. They know what's up for real. So anyway, Grayson, she tells Grayson that she built the company, and Grayson sees Naomi again. He's visibly seeing Naomi's crazy, but he thinks somehow that his dad has what's that girl? Did I say Leslie? I forgot her name. Lindsay is he feel like that they are victimized. He didn't say that, but it's the protection that he had for his dad, because he told Naomi that when Naomi was telling Grayson, your dad cheated on me. Grayson didn't know that. The only thing Grayson knew was y'all marriage was over when Lizzie came along. And it was like, that's what I'm saying, Grayson. You don't know the ins and outs. You only know what Franklin is telling you. So anyway, Jefferson returns home to see he see Geneva outside in her car outside of their home crying. He goes and let Rashida know. He was like, okay, I need you to go handle that so we can handle our family business in here. So Geneva tells Rashida that Anika fell and she's not William's baby. And Rashida tells Geneva, listen, you need to go home and you need to be honest with your husband. But Geneva was like, I can't, because it's going to break his heart. And Rashida was like, I know, but basically at least he'll know the truth. And so she gets a picture. I don't know what she got in her phone, and I don't know who sent it, but Tiffany called Rashida. She looked at the phone and said, I'm gonna call Tiffany back. I don't know who or what, but Geneva got some sort of a picture, a text message or a picture message or something. And she showed it to Rashida. And they found out in that video or picture or text that Tiffany and Javon was fucking. And this is where the episode ended. Okay? Anyway, right behind here, I need you guys to go check out episode 10. Okay? I will drop it right behind this episode. This is your girl, Kiwan, reminding you to keep showing up, keep growing, stay true to yourself, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.